Hey guys, how's it going? Today, I'm going to be featuring a Neptune, the Tier 8 British light cruiser. Now, the Neptune is pretty basic in what you would expect for a British light cruiser. This is basically a step up from the Edinburgh in terms of the main battery DPM, and there are a few differences. The first thing you will notice is just how squishy this ship is compared to the Edinburgh. Unlike the Edinburgh, you do not have the 30mm plating along the entire hull, so you will not be able to tank battleships as effectively, and the ship is more like the Minotaur with the light armor and simply a very large citadel. Even though this ship is lightly armored and has a huge citadel, it does have quite a few tools at its advantage to help you survive any incoming damage. You do still have access to a super heal, and I am using the smoke generator consumable. You can obviously use the radar consumable if you would like, although it's not quite as good as Minotaur. And here we have a friendly battleship trying to hide in my smoke, and well, I've been unspotted for some time, and I end up eating a citadel because of it. Fortunately, here in a few seconds, we saw there was a shim in front of us, and well, we smoked up, which means there are torpedoes on the way, and well, a battleship sitting in smoke that really isn't meant for him to hide in, well, he ends up getting dev struck. I do like to think of this as instant karma, as well, he caused me to get citadeled, and well, now he is dead. I do end up eating one torpedo because, well, I stopped paying attention and actually start accelerating a little too soon. And well, you also see there the super heal giving back pretty much most of our HP. And also some instant karma for spamming that thank you command in the wheel after the Republic died. With our smoke running out, we are going to try and reposition and use some of these islands in order to try and farm this GK and also be in a spot that we can support our friendly destroyer if he ends up spotting that enemy Shimakaze. The enemy GK does start moving forward, and we do end up getting radared by the enemy Des Moines that was pushing out to the flank. He hasn't been spotted for some time, although he is within 10 kilometers, so I'm expecting him to try and push our friendly destroyer that is YOLOing the enemy destroyer. The Des Moines does come around the corner broadside, and well, he is pretty much going to kill off our friendly destroyer. I make sure that the enemy Shima does go down, so he does not get away when our destroyer dies, just in case. And well, now we are in quite a situation because the Des Moines AP and its pin angles are definitely going to be an issue, especially if we are trying to torpedo him in close quarters. The torpedo angles aren't exactly the greatest on the Neptune. As you saw there, we did have to give quite a bit of broadside, which is more than enough for the Des Moines pen angles in order to citadel us. I dump one set of torps, and now I'm looking to try and use the other side. The enemy GK does come around the island at the same time as the Des Moines gets spotted, which is a bit unfortunate. His AP does end up overpenning us, so we are able to get off our torps at the Des Moines, where his turret traverse was simply unable to keep up with our speed. The Des Moines, trying to dodge our first salvo of torpedoes, does end up turning broadside to our Shima that is all the way out on the flank, and well, he does get hit by some Shima torps, and well, all we needed to do was land one torpedo to kill him off. Now we are simply trying to create distance and try to stay unspotted because, well, now all we have is 14,000 hit points. There is an enemy destroyer that's in that smoke, and, well, he spots me for a couple of seconds and goes back in as he shoots me. Knowing that he's there and the GK is behind the island, I was thinking I could try to push closer to the smoke just in case the destroyer decided to reverse out again in order to spot me and take another pot shot. Although, seeing the enemy GK starting to turn in, I do decide to start turning out, which the enemy destroyer does actually reverse out of his smoke again, and with the enemy main also starting to come over to this side and him taking a shot at me, I simply start smoking up and turning out. Now that I'm undetected and my sonar is coming off of cooldown, I am going to try and stick around to see if he decides to try and push my smoke, and well, I can spot him with my sonar, and I could also stay here to try and farm the enemy battleships. With the enemy gearing smoke fading, he does end up getting spotted by our friendly teammate, and well, he is sitting flat broadside to us. Our friendly destroyer unfortunately does go down, but the DPM and the quick reload on these guns is fast enough that we are able to kill him off within that short amount of time. The DPM on the Neptune is quite nutty. It's not quite as good as the Minotaur, although it is still good enough that you will still be able to shred any ships that are sailing broadside to you with this British short fuse AP. Enemy main, almost dead. I just decide to start shooting, well, because at this point he is not going to be able to shoot at us, and well, he's the only target spotted, so we might as well just start shooting at him and kill him off. Now the game is more in our favor. There is still one enemy destroyer remaining, and our friendly destroyer is not going to be able to spawn him because he is simply out on the flank and still trying to torp that 1 GK. The enemy destroyer, being on the entirely opposite side of the map, does limit the possibility of him getting spotted. However, he does end up pushing into the B cap, and with our friendly radar cruiser pushing in, he does end up getting radared and spotted. With him spotted, I simply try to get all my guns to bear and try to help kill him off as quickly as possible, because them having a destroyer is definitely going to be an issue. Our friendly Worcester does end up killing off the last enemy destroyer, and the Shima does finally end up dev striking the enemy GK. With the enemy destroyer gone, now all that's left are 2 battleships, which we can now play around islands and make sure that we aren't spotted by a destroyer that has simply spotted us through another angle. It's much easier to try and play around islands when there are ships to help you spot, especially in a ship that does also rely heavily on sitting in smoke and farming damage. Now we're just simply going to try and push in and see if we can use some of these islands within Bravo in order to try and farm some of these battleships, and if we really need to, we can still use our last smoke screen. I think the Neptune is definitely a good cruiser. It's very heavily reliant on not really getting shot at because there is a huge citadel with this ship not having the thickest armor. I'm still really curious to see what they end up doing to the Edinburgh because that ship does have 30mm plating along the entire hull. Its citadel is also not nearly as large as the Neptune, but it still has smoke and a super heal. I'm curious to see if they're going to reduce the armor thickness to make that ship fit more in line with the rest of the tech tree, because, well, that ship having that much armor does allow it to have a different playstyle that to me simply does not make sense, and you can get away with some of the dumbest things. Anyway, back to the game. The enemy Conqueror does actually turn around and shows up where I was least expecting. Fortunately, our friendly Musashi was spotted before I was, so the Conqueror did end up shooting his guns at the enemy Musashi that was behind me, so I was able to smoke up. Now this enemy main is giving us a little too much broadside, and well, we are simply able to get a ton of penetrations, and we do end up landing another torpedo. As his health is dwindling down, we do end up killing him off with the flood, and well, we do secure a kraken, and the Conqueror does die shortly after. Just under 100,000 damage, not the most damage, but at the same time, we got a Kraken and we have 3200 base XP. Definitely a lot of XP in shooting at all of those destroyers and doing a bunch of damage, since XP is rewarded based on the percentage of damage to a ship that you do. And well, we did shoot at all of the enemy destroyers. I don't actually remember the build I was using in this game, so I'll have to wait until I go over the commander I was using, because I've been kind of using all kinds of different builds, including a stealth radar one, which the radar is 9.5 kilometers for a 35-second duration. Not quite the 40-second and 10-kilometer radar that the Minotaur has, although it is still definitely good. I also finally unlocked the last upgrade for the ship. Well, here we can see that I was actually using Bruce Fraser, and I did go for an AP penetration build, which simply just makes sense because, well, this ship only has AP. Now, the other build that I said I was using was a stealth radar build, although you do have to use John Jellicoe, because without using his Look At Me Now skill in that second row, and then double cruiser detection inspirations, well, you won't actually get your detection below that 9.5 kilometer radar range. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and share it with your friends, or leave a comment down below for any other ships you want to see in the future. But until next time, aloha.